biggest thing that we've done in the 2019-2020 selling season is we've added a couple more sales. One in particular at OKC West. We've turned that into a weekly sale that started September 17th, and it's going to run through January 14th. One of the reasons why we did this was because we had a lot of feedback last year. One of the sales in particular was pretty bad weather, and so producers had a difficult time getting their cattle to market. And so we've opened it up this year with Bill over there to run certified sales every week. Those sales are at noon on Tuesdays. And we've done it as an effort to provide more flexibility to the producer to kind of work under your schedule of getting cattle to market. Two of the other sales that we've added is the Enid livestock and also the Fort Smith livestock. One of the other things that we've added is a BQA certification is required in 2020 selling season. It won't be effective this year. And if you're looking at doing any of the McAllister sales in the spring, February, April, and June, I believe is what they are, it will not pertain to that as well. So just at the start of the fall 2020 selling season. I spoke with Bob LaValle a couple weeks ago, and they are going to try and get with county cattlemen's associations this winter, along with county agents, and put on certification workshops so that there's a lot of opportunity for you guys to all become BQA certified. It's just another measure. As the industry moves more and more towards the traceability dynamic within it, it's one more thing that buyers and packers are all going to require, and it's just going to become a matter of time before it's universal for everyone. So that's one thing that we're implementing within the program. We feel that it will help, obviously add value to your livestock, and it's just something that's going to come down the pipeline. So if we're ahead of the game, we should be good. Program ear tag prices. If any of you all have been on the website this year, you saw a notice in there saying that prices were going to go up. They are going to remain the same price, $1.50 for the rest of the selling season. So that's not something that you have to look forward to this year. One of the other things we've changed is the vaccination protocols. One of the things that we did was added the option of using a killed vaccine under option 2 of the health protocol. That can be used with the first administration, followed up with your booster with a modified live. And then finally, on the new things, begin with the end in mind is kind of a campaign that Dr. Biggs and Dr. Kirkpatrick put together. It's a nice little educational piece for some, or just a reminder for others. And it is just that. It kind of outlines, begin with the end in mind. What is your end goal, and how should you begin to get to that end goal? And it just kind of takes a look at things we can do to manage herd health from the cow standpoint on through to the calf. So the OQBN program is a joint effort between the Oklahoma Cooperative Extension and the Oklahoma Cattlemen's Association. And it's an effort to kind of bridge the gap between producers and buyers. Buyers have a demand for healthier cattle. Obviously, everyone knows that respiratory sickness is the largest contributor to money lost, livestock loss in the industry. And so buyers have that demand for buying healthier cattle, and producers want to receive more for their cattle. I mean, if you're not raising average cattle, why sell them at average prices, right? So this is an effort to kind of bridge that gap between the two, and bring that potential for both sides. Take a look at the premiums that were received in 2018 on OQBN calves, $12.89. That premium is over non-preconditioned calves. And this goes back to 2011. You can look at that every year, reflective of the market, whether it's up or it's down. preconditioned calves are still receiving a premium over non-preconditioned calves. If you're wondering if you should do this, there's a nice tool on the OQBN website. It's a budgeting tool. You can go in there, plug in some numbers, and it calculates up what your costs are going to be, what your profit, your returns are going to be. So I encourage you, if you're considering it, you're on the fence, you're not quite sure, and Scott might touch a little more on this, utilizing value-added programs in a market that is down. It's a good tool to help you figure out where you might be on that. The next slide shows the breakdown between sexes and the different weight classes. 4s and 5s are showing the biggest premiums when you're looking at steers, and heavier weights on heifers. It's probably reflective of buying replacements. So when we get into the requirements of the VAC 45 program, like I stated earlier, we have 3 different options when it comes to the vaccination protocols. Option 1 being a branding and weaning stage when you're administering those vaccinations. Option 2 would be a pre-weaning and weaning. Pre-weaning being defined as 2 to 6 prior to weaning your calves. And then the third option is weaning and post-weaning. Other requirements are castration and healed. The healed portion of that is really important, especially when we move on to the next one with dehorning calves. Those have to be healed. Those calves have to be healthy and healed. Weaned at least 45 days. I just recently put together some data over past years of the program. On average, calves that are sold through the OQBN program have been weaned for an average of 63 days. So that's really good for the program. It speaks highly of it. That takes it, if you're looking at different vaccination programs, that 60 day is the threshold to the next level. So there's a lot to be said for that long range, long time weaning. The last thing is verification of requirements. Once you get enrolled, you get your tags, it spits out an email to me, and I'll cover that in a second. But the verification process, you'll have Earl or one of the other county agents come out and take a look at your calves and verify that all of these requirements that I've gone through are being met. Some of the recommendations that we look at for the program: deworming your cattle. Belly full of worms doesn't do an animal any good when you're trying to get them to put weight on. It's only beneficial in the production of the animal. Fresh water, minimal supplementation, coccidiostat, and bunk training. Bunk training is one thing that is definitely going to help those animals once they hit the feedlot. They're going to know where to come, get that feed, and they won't show any losses once they hit that feedlot, and that's definitely something else that buyers are going to look at and be interested in. So then when we talk about the enrollment process, we've really tried this year to push all tag sales to the online website, to Marketplace. Some of you that have been in the program in the past, you've probably gotten your tags by different methods. We're trying to simplify everything this year. So if you have access to the internet, I encourage you to go to the website, buy your tags online on the website. It's a faster process. Like I said, as soon as you process an order, complete an order online, it kicks an email to me right away. And once I receive that email, I process the order right away. Tags go in the mail, and you'll receive them in the next 2 to 3 days. If you don't have access to the internet, you can contact me, contact Earl, contact any county agent. We can get you a form. I've got some forms with me. If you're interested in it, I can give you a form. You can take it with you and fill it out. You can fill it out here. I've got some tags with me right now. If you want to buy them here, we can do that. But if you don't have access to the internet, just contact one of us. We'll print off that form, send it to you. You fill it out, mail it into me with the payment for the tags, and when I receive it, I'll send the tags back out to you. So obviously the online option is the faster option between the two. Either way works. Reducing cattle stress and shrink. When you precondition these calves, it reduces the stress on them. It makes them ready to hit that feedlot and to gain weight instead of losing weight right away. They're more prepared, more conditioned. They have, the improved immune system, increased sale weights. And then one big thing to look at too when you're preconditioning your calves is your nutritional plan. What are you feeding those calves? What's your goal? Do you want to get those calves to gain a pound and a half a day? You want to get them to gain 2 pounds a day? What is your goal? And you need to look at what kind of plan you've got those cattle on to make sure that you hit those goals by the time you want to market those calves.